Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. So I'm Mr. Withers. I'm here today to talk to you about Wikipedia. Often English teachers discuss Wikipedia as if it's an evil entity invading the internet, which is true in some way. One of the aspects that Wikipedia is good for and is known for, and one of the reasons that many people use it every day, is that it's trying to democratize education. It's trying to provide access to information to everybody. At least that's what the mission statement says. That seems to be the founder's intent. If you look at Wikipedia's about page and kind of into their documentation, if you trust Wikipedia, which English teachers don't, if you trust Wikipedia, they seem to be about trying to provide free information to everybody. Historically, since I am older than Wikipedia, I understand that the encyclopedias, particularly Encyclopedia Britannica, which was the most famous encyclopedia, were bought by libraries. They were bought by affluent homes. They were bought by upper middle class homes. They were bought by people that wanted access to a record of information so they could look up information. There was an economic barrier to this information because you had to buy Encyclopedia Britannica, or you had to go to a library that had bought Encyclopedia Britannica. Nearly all libraries had it, so even non-affluent, non-upper middle class people could go check out or use a reference book and look up the moon landing. The problem with print media, of course, is that those books became outdated because a 1960s Encyclopedia Britannica may still have a great section on the Roman Empire, but when you turn to the moon, it said that one day we hope to walk on the moon. 1970s, Encyclopedia Britannica would, under the moon, would tell you about its landscape, its topography, its mineral compounds as they had discovered it, because they had walked on the moon. They had taken samples. Effectively, everyone that had older encyclopedias really needed to throw those away and buy new. And so it was a continual buying cycle for schools, for libraries, for homes. Encyclopedia Britannica, the most famous, so I'm going to vilify them for a moment. Encyclopedia Britannica had some issues. Wikipedia tried to fix those issues. Encyclopedia Britannica was a pay subscription service as a website. Wikipedia was a free website. So at its charter, it seems to be trying to provide free information to everybody. The model of how it does that is allowing users to provide content, edit content, and curate content. And that is really where English teachers have problems. English teachers, by and large, want people to seek knowledge, want people to gain knowledge. The problem is we would like people to gain knowledge from experts that are providing adequate knowledge. Wikipedia being self-curated and not really policed very heavily, or at least not policed in a way that would make English teachers happy, is where it breaks down. There are a lot of erroneous information on Wikipedia. There's just a lot of bad info. English teachers decided we didn't like it. We have spent a generation telling people, do not use Wikipedia. That's an easy statement to make, but it may not reflect what's happening in Wikipedia right now. In the modern moment, brand managers for large corporations are managing Wikipedia pages so that the information on like a Sony or a Ford Motor Company's Wikipedia page is the official information from that company. Anyone can edit it. It will be edited back by the official brand managers. Their entire jobs and industry is now curating Wikipedia pages for large companies. Social media managers do that in addition to Facebook and Twitter. That may not be correct information. It may still be propaganda provided by a large corporation, but it is at least the official propaganda of that large corporation and should be then almost quotable from that corporation. Although it's a little hard to vet for a student quickly using it. And in fact, research has shown that Wikipedia is actually more accurate than medical journals. When you try to look that information up, you're going to find a lot of Wikipedia pages about how it's more accurate than medical journals. And if you believe Wikipedia, then believe Wikipedia. If you don't believe Wikipedia, then you need a better source. But if we start looking at the structure of how medical journals work, people write articles that are doing research in the industry of medicine, of research, of science. They hand those off to an editor or a series of editors that are often English majors that don't understand the jargon, the language, the statistical analysis. And English majors, when they're doing journals, newspapers, if it doesn't fit, take a paragraph out. 2 paragraphs out. If you take a paragraph out that doesn't make any sense to you because it's statistical jargon anyway, take it out. If you take a paragraph out because the statistical jargon didn't make sense to an English major, you could corrupt the findings of that medical journal. The medical journal will later realize that and have a retraction because the researchers will point it out. But the retraction is in a small print in a later issue 6 months, a year later. The retraction also almost never is archived in databases like NC Live or ProQuest, EBSCOhost. So the retractions never get back with the articles in most research cases. So if we look at researchers manning their own research pages on Wikipedia, realizing there's an editing flaw, realizing someone has erroneously taken a paragraph out or tried to manipulate data for some other alternative means, if those researchers could actually change the page back to what it should be, then it makes sense that Wikipedia could be, and maybe is, more accurate about medical information than a journal. The respect will have to shift. English teachers will eventually have to shift. And if this trend continues, one day we will wind up saying, this is how you use Wikipedia on a works cited page. This is not that day. Let me be clear. While I think we should think about Wikipedia, while I think we should think about how Wikipedia is not actual information, but it may be the basis of background information to help students do research, it should never be cited on a works cited page because it should not be an end stop for research. Better sources should be used in the current day. It is currently 2019. Wikipedia is the devil. Wikipedia may be cleaning its act up. Wikipedia may be correcting itself. Wikipedia may one day live into its directive to really democratize information and provide it. And one day, English teachers may have to realize that. This is not that day. But students need to see which day they're in and be looking toward the horizon and how they apply this college degree to their own life, to what they've learned here, to what they'll use in the future. And because of that, I want to take a moment to explain that. So I'm glad that you invited me to do that and clicked on this and allowed me to take a moment and explain that. Hope you have a good day. If you have questions, please let me know.